don't know. I'm going to throw this out there, not knowing if you got a chance to hear these comments. What PD's talking about right here. The Associate AD, Brendan Stein, local radio personality, Mike Severe's comments recently.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I'm good friends with Michael. He's a little bit, he exaggerates a little bit. But Brendan Stein tells it like it is. And a lot of this information is coming from inside the program. And I can't dispute anything. I don't like to comment on things that I don't know directly, but I do appreciate what those guys are saying, and like I said, I'm not going to dispute it, but I'm not going to confirm it either. But there's obviously been things going on behind the scenes that have not been beneficial to Nebraska with a winning culture, and that's kind of the bottom line. And I mean, it's kind of cool to see a guy like Mickey Joseph in charge of things right now, and to tell us just straight out today too. Asked about recruiting. It's like, hey, you know what? We're recruiting right now. Like, we're going to be here next year. This place is bigger than any of us, and we're all Huskers at heart, and we're going to do anything possible to make the program better if they're going to be there next year or not on the staff. So, and maybe that's one of the things that has been lacking around here. And you bring in a Scott Frost that is the hottest coaching candidate out there in the nation at the time, and obviously he had the same vision as all Husker Nation does, but it just didn't work out that way. And I can't point my finger at one thing, but there's a lot of rumors that have gone out there and stuff, and I can't confirm anything, but things just didn't work out. And right now you're in desperation mode on trying to recover, and you still have 8 games left. You're only a half game out of first place in the West in the Big Ten. I mean, it's kind of crazy to say that, but there's a lot of football left to be played, and there's been a lot of changes made. And the biggest thing is now that you have to focus on is that you got a lot of 19 and 20 and 21-year-old kids that are very emotional. And just think back when you were 20, 21. Did you need more supervision then than you do now?
Hopefully.
Well, no, you didn't. I mean, you needed the supervision back then, and now a lot of your supervision have basically misled you, and you've got to adjust and believe in those mentors that are around you now. And it's hard. I mean, like those kids, when they talk to the media and stuff after a bad loss, they're very emotional, and they're answering questions emotionally and not thinking about, they're not lying. They're just telling it like it is. And to hear some of that stuff come out when they're in an emotional state about the state of the program that you didn't really know about kind of opens your eyes a little bit. So I don't know. That's kind of a long, drawn-out question or answer to your question there. I apologize.
Well, is there anything that was said by Trev Alberts regarding the coaching search that, not, of course, any names, but did he talk about what type of coach that they would be looking for? What characteristics they're looking for?
Well, yeah, obviously he did. And it's that same vision that you've always really had around here. It's just somebody that understands how special of a place that the University of Nebraska is and the University of Nebraska football program is. And I mean, that doesn't have to be a guy that's been a lifelong Husker, but you have to understand that. That's the biggest thing. Now you tried it with a guy that that you thought would be the savior, that had played here and won a national championship here, and it didn't work out. Now, you look at the best situation you can possibly get. You have a guy as your interim coach right now that's also a guy that has grown up Nebraska football and knows more than any other head coach has ever known about what you need to do here. And that's just my own personal opinion. And I've only known Mickey personally for a short time, but every time that I've interacted with him, he's just a super cool, down to earth guy. Even last Thursday night, I was at a high school game, and he showed up, and he couldn't have been nicer, and was talking us up the whole time, and then shook everybody's hand when he left. I won't name names, but there's not many other head coaches that would do that when you're on the sidelines at a high school football game, on a Thursday or Friday night. There's a lot of qualities there that you look for. And Trev Alberts is no dummy. He's been around this game for a long time at every level you can imagine. And, it goes back to a lot of what Tom Osborne instilled in all these guys. And, that's kind of what you're always striving for that type of a leader that, Tom Osborne did it a little different way than most head coaches do it now. I mean, Tom Osborne was a silent killer. I mean, he could just look at you. He didn't have to say anything. He just had to give you a look, and you knew that you let him down. And everything that he stood for, this university stood for, and that's what you're looking for in the leader of your football program, that is a very proud, traditional program and has all the support you could ever ask for in the world. And that's the hardest thing is on the fans right now to be going through this. But we'll see. Is there enough time for them to turn things around? Who knows? But there's 8 more games left in the season to find out if Mickey Joseph is the guy to run this program in the future or not. And it's a very unfair task for him to take over as well, with the expectations that comes with the job. But yeah, we'll see what happens.